hash a $53 billion gamble, rebuilding Gaza under the shadow of uncertainty. The Arab League's ambitious $53 billion, £42 billion, proposal to rebuild Gaza under the Palestinian Authority, PA, administration represents a bold, yet precarious, gamble in the tumultuous landscape of Middle Eastern politics. This substantial investment, endorsed by Arab leaders, aims to offer a compelling alternative to Donald Trump's controversial deal of the century, a plan widely criticized for its perceived pro-Israel bias and potential for displacement of Palestinians. However, the path to realization is fraught with challenges, raising serious questions about the feasibility and ultimate success of this ambitious undertaking. The very foundation of this plan rests on a highly uncertain premise: the PA's ability to govern Gaza. This prospect remains far from assured, entangled in a complex web of political realities and deep-seated geopolitical tensions. Israel, the occupying power, has explicitly ruled out any future role for the PA in Gaza, a position deeply rooted in its long-standing strategic objectives in the region. This outright rejection casts a long shadow over the entire initiative, threatening to undermine its very viability before it even begins. Adding further complexity to the situation is the legacy of previous failed economic plans for Gaza. These initiatives consistently faltered, choked by Israel's ongoing blockade and periodic military incursions into the Strip. The years of conflict, punctuated by devastating bombings and restrictions on movement and trade, have crippled Gaza's economy, leaving its infrastructure in ruins and its population grappling with widespread poverty and unemployment. Israel's actions, driven by a strategic agenda that includes maintaining control over the Palestinian territories, have consistently undermined any genuine progress toward economic development. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's stated aspiration for permanent, overarching control over all Palestinian territories highlights the fundamental incompatibility between Israel's long-term goals and any plan that genuinely empowers the Palestinian Authority. This stark reality casts a pall over the Arab League's proposal, raising serious doubts about its potential to achieve its stated objectives. The deep-seated mistrust and ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinians create an environment where any development plan is highly vulnerable to sabotage or outright rejection. The situation is further complicated by the role of Hamas, the de facto governing authority in Gaza. Hamas's statement condemning the Arab League's plan and calling for its thwarting underscores the deep divisions within the Palestinian political landscape. This internal conflict, characterized by a power struggle between the PA and Hamas, severely hinders any concerted effort towards rebuilding Gaza. The absence of a unified Palestinian voice only exacerbates the challenges faced by the ambitious reconstruction plan. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, despite attending the Arab League summit, wields limited influence in Gaza. His presence at the summit, while symbolically important, doesn't automatically translate into effective governance or the ability to implement the proposed plan. This power imbalance significantly weakens the PA's ability to navigate the complex political and logistical hurdles involved in the reconstruction effort. The plan also received backing from UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, a significant endorsement given the UN's long-standing involvement in mediating the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Guterres's previous warnings against ethnic cleansing, particularly in response to Trump's Riviera of the Middle East plan, underscore the urgency and high stakes involved in any reconstruction effort. His support adds a layer of international legitimacy to the plan, although it doesn't negate the considerable political obstacles. However, the crucial missing element is Israel's support, rendering the $53 billion investment potentially futile. Without Israel's cooperation, the blockade will remain in place, hindering the flow of goods, materials, and people, rendering the reconstruction effort a largely symbolic gesture. The lack of Israeli backing raises critical questions about the practicality and effectiveness of the proposal, highlighting the limitations of any plan that fails to address the underlying political conflict. Trump's past actions, including the closure of the PLO liaison office in Washington and his unwavering support for Israel further complicate the already precarious situation. His statement hinting at U.S. takeover of the Gaza Strip only fuels existing anxieties and deepens the distrust amongst Palestinians, adding another layer of complexity to an already challenging situation. This underscores the inherent risks associated with relying on external actors, particularly those with a history of interventionist policies in the region. In conclusion, while the Arab League's $53 billion proposal offers a glimmer of hope for Gaza's future, its success hinges on overcoming formidable political and logistical obstacles. The lack of Israeli support, the deep divisions within the Palestinian political landscape, and the uncertainty surrounding the PA's ability to govern Gaza cast significant doubt on the plan's feasibility. This ambitious initiative, while commendable in its scale and ambition, remains a high-stakes gamble, the outcome of which is far from certain. The road to rebuilding Gaza is paved with challenges, and only time will tell whether this ambitious plan can overcome them. The shadow of uncertainty hangs heavy over this substantial investment, leaving the future of Gaza hanging precariously in the balance.